So in this 27 January shift 1 paper, there are 2-3 observations that I have. The first is that there are few questions which are technically out of syllabus but have been included. There are few fringe areas that were a little bit debatable but that are also included in the paper. So the students who are preparing for 2024 shift 2 should keep this in mind, that those fringe areas should be prepared really well. If there are few areas where you are not very sure, it is better to prepare them. Second very important idea is this paper was approximately a little bit lower than last year's paper, but is still at a very good level. So I don't think there is going to be a very big variation in the kind of cutoffs we saw last year compared to this year in mathematics. So now let us start with the discussion of 27 January shift 1 exam. Let us look into this question. In this question, this is based on polynomials. They have given us the polynomials, but in terms of derivatives. So what you can do in this question is you can first differentiate it once. If I do so, what I get is nothing but 3x square plus 2x into f dash of 1 plus f double dash of 2. And if I differentiate it one more time, I will get f double dash of x, that is nothing but 6x plus 2 times f dash of 1. If I differentiate one more time, I will get third derivative of fx, that is nothing but 6. So now let us start working in the reverse order in the next step. So what we can do here is we can put the value of 3 here and get the value of f dash of 3, and you can see that it comes out to be nothing but 6. If I want to find the value of, if I put in the second part 2, then what I get is f double dash of 2, and that is nothing but 12 plus 2 times f dash of 1. This is another thing that I'm getting. If I put the value of x as nothing but 2, 1 in the first part, it becomes nothing but f dash of 1 will be equal to 3 plus 2 times f dash of 1 plus f double dash of 2. So if I substitute all the values into the third part, let us see what I get. So if I do so, what am I getting is nothing but f dash of 1 is equal to 3 plus 2 times f dash of 1. And let us put the value of f double dash of 2, that is nothing but 12 plus 2 times f dash of 1. So what is happening is we are getting f dash of 1 on the left side. We are getting 3 plus 12, 15 here, and then 4 times f dash of 1. And if I find the value of f dash of 1, it comes out to be nothing but minus 5. Now once we have done that, what we can observe from here is nothing but we have got the value of f dash 1. If I want to find the value of f double dash of 2 from here, we can get that value is nothing but 12 plus 2 into minus 5. And that comes out to be nothing but again 2. Now we have got this all the values. So what you can do in the fourth step, you can find the value of f dash of 10, what they're asking. So if I substitute all this value in the f dash of x, what am I getting? I am getting nothing but 3 into 100 plus 2 into 10 into f dash of 1. We already figured that out. That came out to be minus 5. And then f double dash of 2, that came out to be 2. So if I put all of these values and simplify, what I get is nothing but 202. Now again, a very simple question based on definite integrals. What we need to do in this question is, again such kind of questions are there in NCERT. We just need to rationalize it. So in the first step, you can write it down and rationalize it. So if I rationalize this with a root of x plus 3 minus root of x plus 1, what you will see that the denominator is gone, because it becomes x plus 3 minus x minus 1 dx. And once you do so, what we are getting is nothing but 1 by 2 outside, 0 to 1, root of x plus 3 minus root of x plus 1. Again, a very simple question. So if I do this, what will I get is nothing but x plus 3 is raised to the power 1 by 2 plus 1 by 1 by 2 plus 1. And then x minus sign, x plus 1 raised to the power 1 by 2 plus 1 by 1 by 2 plus 1. And now we can put value 0 to 1. And if I do so, what am I getting is nothing but this becomes, if I put 1, it becomes nothing but 4 raised to the power 3 by 2 by 3 by 2 minus, if I put 0 here, it is nothing but 3 raised to the power 3 by 2 by 3 by 2. And then in the other part, if I put 1, it becomes nothing but 2 raised to the power 3 by 2 by 3 by 2, and plus 1 raised to the power 3 by 2 by 3 by 2. So we can see that if I compare this to a plus b root 2 plus c root 3. The value of a from here comes out to be 3. The value of b from here comes out to be minus 2 by 3, and the value of c comes out to be minus 1. If I put into the expression that is 2a, so 2 times a will become nothing but 6. 3 times b will become nothing but minus 2. And then c becomes nothing but minus 1. The answer comes out to be 3. Now, technically, AGP is not there in the syllabus, but this question was asked from AGP. This question talks about, you can clearly see that in the numerator, we have nothing but an arithmetic progression going on. And if you look into this denominator, you can clearly see that there is a GP going on. So this is a question of AGP. And what they want us is basically apply the logic of sum of an infinite GP and get the value of P from there. So let us implement this. So what is the process? The process is very simple. We'll multiply with the common ratio, that in this case is nothing but 1 by 4. So this becomes nothing but 3 by 4. Then 3 plus P by 4 square. Then 3 plus 2p by 4 cube, so on and so forth till infinity. In the second step, we'll subtract this. So if I subtract, then becomes 8 into 3 by 4. This becomes 3. And this becomes p by 4. The next part will become p by 4 square. The next will become p by 4 cube till infinity. Now you can see that this part is nothing but a infinite GP. So sum of infinite GP is nothing but a upon 1 minus r. This is equal to, you can see 6, and we can see that p by 4, and this denominator will become 3 by 4 is equal to nothing but 3. 4 and 4 can get cancelled, and the value of p comes out to be 9. So it's an extremely simple question based on the concept of AGP, though AGP technically is now out of syllabus. Now this next question is based on the idea of common APs. Now this common AP topic I have discussed in detail in my one-shot video on sequencing series. This is one of the most simple questions that has been asked in last 3 years based on the same concept. So this concept goes like that. In the first step, you need to observe what is the first common term. And if you closely observe, they've already given it to you. That is nothing but 9. The value of A is nothing but 9 here. Second part that we need to do is find the value of D, and that is nothing but LCM of the common difference of both of these sequences. So what we need to find is LCM of the common difference of first one is nothing but 5. The common of next one is nothing but 6. So LCM comes out to be nothing but 30. Now for getting the third step, what we need to do is basically figure out this 25th term from here. T25 from here. So if I do that, it is nothing but A plus n minus 1, that is nothing but 25 minus 1 into D, and that is nothing but 5. So if I find the value of this term, this comes out to be nothing but 4 plus 24 in. Once you have got the value of the minimum, so you can see that minimum will come in the first case, minimum greatest term. So what you can do in the next part is nothing but take a general term of a common AP, that is nothing but A plus n minus 1 into D, and equate it to this maximum term, minimum term of both of the series, the highest minimum term. So once you have done that, the value of A is nothing but 9, n minus 1 into 30 we can put. It comes out to be nothing but 124. So the value of n minus 1 into 30 would be nothing but 115. And if I divide it by 30, it comes out to be 11.5 by 3. So you can see that this will come out to be 3 point something. So the value of n will be nothing but 4 point something. You can see that the minimum, the common terms would be nothing but 4. Now these 3 steps are the common 3 steps that we are going to follow in any kind of question based on common AP. Now this next question of limits becomes very simple if you use the concept of series expansion. You can also use rationalization, but series expansion will work out to be simpler. So in order to find the value of A in the first part, what we can do in the first step is, since this is x tends to 0, series expansion becomes a very decent way of doing this question. So we can write this as 1x raised to the power 1 by 2 raised to the power 1 by 2 minus root 2 by x raised to the power 4. And since in the case of 1 plus x raised to the power n, we can write it as 1 plus nx. We can use this result in the first part in the numerator, and this becomes nothing but 1 plus x raised to the power 4 by 2 minus root 2 by x raised to the power 4. Now what we can do in the next part is nothing but, right, this is 2 plus x raised to the power 4 by 2 minus root 2 by x raised to the power 4 again. And again, see, before writing this result, we need to convert it into 1 plus x form. So we need to take this 2 common. So if I take this 2 common from here, this root 2 will come out. This becomes 1 plus x raised to the power 4 by 4 raised to the power 1 by 2 minus root 2 by x raised to the power 4. And in the last step, you can again apply the same thing and write it as nothing but 1 plus x raised to the power 4 by 8 minus root 2. So we are continuously using this one result in order to get our answer very fast and very simple. See here, very important thing is the idea of L'Hopital. If you apply it, is going to take 4 differentiation to come up with an answer. So this is a better approach. So once you do this, what we are getting from here, divide by x raised to the power 4. What we are getting from here, you can see that root 2 can be taken common. 1 and 1 will get cancelled out. So x raised to the power 4 by 8 by x raised to the power 4. It gets cancelled out. And what you are getting is 1 by 4 root 2. This is the value of a that we are getting. Now let us move towards in the second step to the value of b. So b is nothing but limit x tends to 0. Now here it makes a little bit of sense to use rationalization. So if I do it, this becomes 2 minus 1 plus cos x. And what we have multiplies is root 2 plus root of 1 plus cos x. This makes sense because in one step only you will directly get your answer. Once you do that, this becomes sine square x. And this becomes 1 minus cos x into root 2 plus root of 1 plus cos x. And if I simplify this further, this becomes limit x tends to 0. And you can see that this is sine square x, this part is fine. The denominator becomes nothing but 2 sine square x by 2. And this becomes nothing but root 2 plus root of 1 plus cos x. And again, this part is quite simple. From trigonometric limits, we can write this as sine square x by x square. This will become sine square x by 2 by x square by 4. We'll have to multiply by 4 here. We have a 2 waiting here. And again, this is root 2 times root 2 plus root of 1 plus cos x. So if I write it down like this, it becomes very simple because now if I put the limits, it becomes nothing but 4 by 2. And what we get from this is nothing but root 2 plus root. If I simplify this, this is nothing but 4 by 2 into 2 root 2. So you can see the 2 part cancels out. And what we have got is nothing but 4 root 2. Now what they're asking in the question is nothing but the value of a b cube. So a is nothing but 4 root 2. This is fine. And what they're saying is the cube of the second part. So 4 cube into root 2 whole cube. So you can see that if I find the value of a b cube, 4 root 2 will get cancelled out. And what is remaining is 4 square into root 2 square. So 4 square is 16. And root 2 square will become nothing but 2. So this comes out to be nothing but 32. A very simple question. Now this next question, if I look into this, it talks about, or it is based on the idea of complex numbers. And more importantly, geometry of complex numbers they are using in this question. So what they're saying is, now if I put it into very simple terms, what they're saying is basically z is a point that is equidistant from I minus I and 1. So let me plot it on an Argand plane because this is the simplest solution. I will also tell you an algebraic solution how to approach it because there are a lot of students which are comfortable algebraically. So you can see that there is a point I here, there is a point minus I here, and there is a point 1 here. So we are talking of a point which is equidistant from this. So if I make a triangle, such point would be nothing but, if I make this triangle, such point would be nothing but the circle passing through these 3 points. So if I draw a circle passing through these 3 points, the center of this circle, the center of this circle will actually be that point. If I talk about the center, this is the point they are talking about that we need to tell. So now if you look into this, so what they're saying is how many number of solutions. So obviously there is only going to be one such point. So without even solving, since there is only one such point, you can tell in the next step the answer is 1. Now here they do not want us to find the solution. If they want us to solve the solution, what you could have done is basically you could have taken this and converted into question of a coordinate geometry. So what we can do is basically we can talk about a circle on which we have been given 3 points in this manner. And more importantly, if you look into this, this is nothing but a right angle triangle. Okay, so this point is going to be origin only. So this is nothing but 1, 0. This is nothing but 0, 1. And this is nothing but 0, -1. You can see that this angle becomes 90 degree. So this becomes this part will become nothing but the diameter, and the center of the diameter will become the center. So an extremely simple question. Even if they want to tell us the center, we can do it using coordinate geometry. Now this next question is one such question that I had also discussed in complex numbers, and this has been a very traditional question. So they have given us this equation, and if you look into this equation, this will give you nothing but complex roots of QBT. So there are two roots to this equation. One is omega and another one is nothing but omega square. Now what they're asking is sum of the terms in this expansion of this. So if I write the expansion, I do not need to do it, but if I want to write it, I can write the series expansion. But if I want to find the sum of these, what I can just do is put the value of x here or alpha here. You can see that there are two answers possible. One is basically if I take alpha as nothing but omega. If I do that, it becomes 1 plus omega raised to the power 7. And this comes out to be nothing but minus omega square raised to the power 7. And that is nothing but minus omega raised to the power 7 into 2. So minus omega raised to the power 14. And this will become nothing but minus omega square. Another answer can come when we put alpha as nothing but omega square. And if I put this, then 1 plus omega square raised to the power 7 will come. That comes out to be minus omega raised to the power 7. And that is nothing but again minus an omega raised to the power 7. And omega raised to the power 7 is nothing but minus omega. So now, based on the options, you will have to choose what exact answer will come in this question. But this is a very common question asked in multiple exams. What you can do is just substitute the value of x and get the answer. Again, similar kind of question, and this I've also discussed in my binomial theorem one-shot series. What they're asking is a is nothing but the sum of the coefficient of all the terms in this expansion. So now this is very simple to find. If I want to find it, I can write 1 minus 3x plus 10x square raised to the power n. So let us write a naught, then a1 into x, then a2 into x square, so on and so forth. And the last one would be nothing but a2n x raised to the power 2n. So what I can do, what they're asking is the value of a is nothing but a naught plus a1 till a2n. And there is a very simple trick to find this. Put x equal to 1. If you put x equal to 1 here, what I'm getting is nothing but 1 minus 3 plus 10 raised to the power n. And this becomes a naught plus a1 till a2n. If they want some constant into this, you can differentiate and write the subsequent answers, and that becomes a very important problem type in JEE advanced level. But that trinomial question is not asked. This is a very simple question. Just put x equal to 1. And if I do, this is 11 minus 9. Comes out to be 8 raised to the power n. So this is nothing but the value of a. The similar trick we can apply in the next part. What they're asking is 1 plus x square raised to the power n. Find the sum of all the coefficients. Now again, what they're saying that this is equal to nothing but b. So let me write this as b naught plus b1 into x square. Like this we will go till b2n x raised to the power 2n. So if I want to find this, I will again put x equal to 1. And if I do so, what I get is 2 raised to the power n, and this is the value. And simply you can write a as nothing but b cube in the third step. So very simple question based on putting the value of x equal to 1. Now again, this problem type is directly from the one-shot series of B and C that we did. So this is a formula based question. What you need to do is find the value of NCR, n plus 1 CR, and from there you can do this question. So let us do that. Let us see what we are getting. So if I write this as n factorial by n minus r factorial into r factorial, this is nothing but k square minus 8. And this becomes nothing but n plus 1 factorial by n plus 1 minus r factorial into nothing but r factorial. You can see that r factorial is getting cancelled out. This n factorial, if you cancel, it becomes n plus 1. This, if you cancel, this becomes n plus 1 minus r. So what am I getting from here is nothing but n plus 1 minus r is equal to k square minus 8 into n plus 1. Now, after doing this first step, in the second step, you can observe what will happen to k square minus 8. So, if I write this as n plus 1 minus r by n plus 1 is equal to k square minus 8. What we can observe from here is basically this will become 1 minus r by n plus 1 is equal to k square minus 8. You can see the maximum value of k square minus 8. The maximum value will come when r becomes 0. So when r becomes 0, the value will become 1 or k square will become equal to 9. Another thing, now what you can observe from here is another thing that can happen is what we are saying is here k square minus 8 should always be greater than equal to 0. So k square should always be greater than equal to 8. So you can see that in the third step that the possible values of k square, what can happen is k square can lie between 8 and the maximum value was 9. So between 8 to 9. Again, a very simple question based on formula of NCR. Now this text JEE question is nothing but a very interesting question. It talks about a triangle. But if you closely observe this triangle that is given to us, it is nothing but an isosceles triangle. And it does not require a lot of skill set to do so. If you take this point is 3, 1, this is 1, 2, and this is 2, 3. And if I find the length of the sides, the first side you can see is nothing but root 5. The next one will also be root 5. So you can clearly observe that since two sides are equal, this is nothing but an isosceles triangle. So what will happen? This angle bisector from 3, 1 will also be perpendicular to the third side. Hence, our orthocenter H is going to lie on the angle bisector. So this H, that is orthocenter, this lies on angle bisector. If I find the value of this angle bisector, it is not a very difficult thing to do. What I will have to do is I will have to write the equations of the side. So if I do so, the value of this angle bisector comes out to be x plus y is equal to 4. And since this point a comma b satisfies it, the value of a plus b comes out to be 4. Now once you have done this, in the second part, this is the first part, second part, that is connected with integration. What we can observe here is if I take my I1 and if I apply my King's property, then what happens is I will write this as a plus b minus x, and this also becomes 4 times a plus b minus x, and the last part also becomes a plus b minus x whole square dx. And if you simplify or put the value of a plus b equal to 4, let us see what do we get. So what will happen is this first part becomes nothing but 4 minus x. The second part, this part again, this will become 4 into 4 minus x, and this becomes nothing but 4 minus x whole square dx. And if we simplify the second part, what we will observe is from a to b, 4 minus x, this will again simplify to 4x, and once you do so, we can take this I1 from here and the above one, and if I add it twice of I1, we can see that 4 will come out as common. Rest of the things will get cancelled out. So it is nothing but sine of 4x minus x square dx. And this part is already given as nothing but I2. So you can see that I1 is equal to 2 times I2. So now if I look into what they're asking is nothing but 36 times I1 by I2. So if I write 36 times I1 by I2, this will be nothing but 36 into 2. That comes out to be nothing but 72. So this question connects two ideas. One is the property of orthocenter with the idea of King's property. Now this next question is a very simple question. It talks about 4 concyclic points. And they want us to find the value of k from here. If you look into these points are very simple because the first point is nothing but origin. The next point is nothing but 1, 0, that would be somewhere here. And the another one is 0, 1. Now, if I join this triangle or these points, you can see that this triangle is nothing but a right angle triangle. So if I draw a circle, this hypotenuse of the earlier circle will become nothing but the diameter, and the midpoint of this would give us the center. So you can see that the center comes out to be nothing but 1 by 2 comma 1 by 2. So if I want to talk about this next point, so I can very easily write the equation of the circle, that is x minus 1 by 2 whole square, y minus 1 by 2 whole square is equal to r square, and we can see that the diameter is nothing but root 2. So this becomes root 2 by 2 raised to the power. Now this is what we are getting. And once we have got, we can put the value of here x and y. So let us see, let us first simplify and then substitute. So x square minus x plus 1 by 4, y square minus y plus 1 by 4 is equal to nothing but 1 by 2. So this 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 2 will get cancelled out. What we are left with is nothing but x square minus x plus y square minus y equal to 0. And now what we can do is we can substitute the value of 2k comma 3k into this. So there is a point 2k comma 3k, and if I substitute this into this, so this becomes a 2k whole square minus 2k, and then 3k whole square minus 3k equal to 0. And one value of k that we are getting from here is nothing but k equal to 0. And another value that we get is nothing but, what we have is nothing but 4k minus 2 plus 9k minus 3 equal to 0. So what we are getting is nothing but 13k minus 5 equal to 0, or the value of k comes out to be 5 by 30. Now this question is based on the idea of classification of functions, and you can see that this is a very simple question, because if you take few examples you will be easily able to understand. So let us first understand whether it is one function or not. So what they're saying is, if I take fx, it is nothing but the largest prime factor of x. That would mean if I take 5, the answer is going to be 5. But if I take 15, the largest prime factor in 15 is nothing but 5, it still becomes 5. So you can see that for 5 and 15 we are getting the same value. So this is nothing but a many one function. Now let us check next the idea of onto and into. So if I take any number like 4 in this, that will never occur. You can see that it is there in the codomain, like 4, there is 6. There are other non-prime numbers, whatever they are, and this prime numbers will never occur because the answer is always a prime factor. So for 4, 6, any such numbers which are there in the codomain, there is not an element corresponding to range, and this becomes nothing but into. Now in this next question, what we need to do is just verify these two statements. So if I multiply fx with f of minus x, let us see what do I get. So if I do that, what am I getting is cos x minus sin x 0, 0, 1, 0, 0 sin x cos x, and again I can put minus of x, this becomes cos x sin x 0, 0, 1 minus sin x cos x 0, 0. And then if I actually multiply it, let us see what do I get. So if I multiply the first part, it is cos square x plus sin square x, this becomes 1. The next part will become 0. Then again, if I multiply with the next part, again it becomes 0. Similarly, if I multiply the second row with first column, it becomes sin x cos x minus cos x sin x, again 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. You can see that you are getting an identity matrix. Hence the first idea that their inverse becomes true. Similarly, we can again check this next idea by multiplication. So if you do this multiplication, you can very simply see that it will come out to f of x plus y. So very simple question based on direct verification. Now this next question is quite a lengthy question. What they're saying is there is an ellipse like this. So in the first step, let us draw the ellipse. If I draw the ellipse, what they're saying is, and you can observe here also, this point is nothing but 5, 0. This is nothing but minus 5, 0. This point would be nothing but 0, minus 4. And this is nothing but 0, 4. What they're saying is there is a chord whose midpoint is 1, 2 by 5, something like this. This is the point that they have given as 1 comma 2 by 5. What they're talking about this chord is basically, if you look into these endpoints, what they're asking is what is the length of this chord. That is what the question is. So what you can do in this question, I will tell you the steps. So the first idea would be to write the equation of the chord using t is equal to s1. Once we have done that, the next step would be to find or satisfy this in the equation of the ellipse. So if I find my equation in the first part, it comes out to be x into 1 by 25 x1 plus y1 into 2 by 5 by 16 is equal to x1 square by 25, so 1 by 25 plus 4 by 25 into 16. And if you simplify this equation comes out to be nothing but x by 25 plus y by 8 into 5 is 40. And again, if I cancel this out, this is 4. So this becomes nothing but 5 by 25 into 4. So it becomes nothing but 1 by 20. We can take this equation and satisfy in this equation. Correspondingly from here, you will get the value of x1 plus x2 and x1, x2. Once you have got this value, using this you can find the value of x1 minus x2. Once you have x1 minus x2, corresponding to that you can find y1 minus y2. Once you have got this value, in the fourth part, we can apply the distance formula x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square and get the value. The value comes out to be root of 1691 by 5. Calculations you can do. Now this second question is based on the idea of double summation. So if I look into the second part, so what we know is if we have a1, a2, a3, a10 square, so this would be nothing but equal to summation of ai square plus summation of 2 times summation of 0, 1, 2 and smaller than j is smaller than equal to 10 AIH. So this is a result, very famous result that we know. Now if you take these values on this side, this is already given as 50 square. This is summation of AI square. This is the first part. From here, we already have been given the value of this part. So this is 2 into 1100. So it is 2500 minus 2200 is nothing but summation of AI square. So summation of AI square from here comes out to be nothing but 300. Now after that, there is a very simple formula of sigma, because standard deviation is something they want us to find. And that is nothing but n into summation of AI square minus summation of AI square by n square. So if I put value in this formula, let us see what do I get. So this is 10 into 300 minus 2500 divided by 100. 100 will get cancelled out, and what we have got is 30 minus 25, and that comes out to be root 5. A very simple question based on the idea of double summation. But if you know this very basic idea, and this also you can very simply remember, if you remember this from two terms, a1 plus a2 whole square will be equal to a1 square a2 square plus 2 times a1 a2. So this is the same thing but written for n terms. Now this is a very simple question. What the question says is the minimum distance of the center of the circle from a point on the parabola. So if I take a general point on this parabola, y square is equal to 4x. This general point can be written as 80 square. A here is 1, 280. And if I take this general point, this point is nothing but 2,8. So this is the distance that we are talking about. So if I write the value of this distance, or d square, that will be nothing but t square minus 2 whole square plus 2t minus 8 whole square. Now if I simplify this, this comes out to be t raised to the power 4 minus 4t square plus 4 and 4t square 32t plus 84 64. So once you have got this, what you can see is this t square is getting cancelled out, and if I simplify, this is t raised to the power 4 minus 32t plus 68. So what we need to do is we need to minimize this quantity. So what we can take a derivative. So if I take a derivative of this part with respect to t, what we are getting is 4t cube minus 32, and let us put this equal to 0. This is my second part of the question. And if I do this, what am I getting? I'm getting t cube is equal to 8. That implies t is equal to. So minimum value is going to come at t is equal to 2. So in the third step, we can directly find the value of d square by substituting this value. So if I substitute this value, this is 4 minus 2 whole square plus 4 minus 8 whole square. And what we can observe is this becomes t square. This becomes 4 square, and the answer comes out to be nothing but 20. Now this is an extremely simple question. The only problem with this question, it comes from vector triple product, now which is not there in JEE syllabus, but still this question has been framed. So let us look into this question. So if I look into this question, what they talk about is they have given these three values, and what they're asking is the value of this part. So let us simplify the question first. So if I take a dot, it is nothing but A, C, B, box of these, minus A vector dot B vector and minus A vector dot C vector. If I take this part, A vector cross C vector, and if I simply take a dot product with B, what I will get is nothing but box of ACB. That is nothing but B vector mod whole square, and that comes out to be nothing but 27 from the B vector that is given to us. Now, if I try and find the value of A vector dot B vector, so again for the third part, we will take this A vector cross C vector is equal to B vector. And if I take dot with A on both the sides, what I will observe is these two vectors are perpendicular in nature, and hence the dot will become 0. So the value of B vector dot A vector comes out to be 0. And in the fourth part, I want the value of A vector dot C vector, that is already given to me. If I put all of these in this question, now what am I getting? A, B, C box is nothing but 27, second part becomes 0, and the third part is equal to 3. So the answer comes out to be 24. Extremely simple question, but from an area of the syllabus that is now out of syllabus. Now this next question is a very simple question. It talks about a line that goes something like this. And if I find these intercepts, if I put y equal to 0, it is 20 by 4 comes out to be 5, 0. And if I put x equal to 0, this comes out to be nothing but 0, 4. Now what they're saying is there are two lines. They are drawn in such a manner that they trisect this line like this. Now it is done in such a manner that these three parts are nothing but equal. So what they're asking is basically then the tangent of the angle between these lines. So what they want is nothing but theta. So you can see that you will have to find the slope of these two lines and apply the formula of tan theta, and you can get the answer. Now if I want to find the coordinates of this point A, for that I can apply my section formula. This will be in the ratio of 1:2. So if I apply the section formula, what am I going to get is 1 into 5 plus 0 by 3. And the next coordinate we can get by multiplying 2 into 4 plus 0 by 3. So this point comes out to be nothing but 5 by 3 common 8 by 3. This is what we have got. In order to get this next point, we can do the same thing, but now this will become 5 into 2 plus 0 by 3. And the second will become 4 plus 0 by 3. So you can see that this point again comes out to be nothing but 10 by 3, 4 by 3. Once you have got both of these points, now you can see that since the other point is nothing but origin, the slope of the first line, so this is the second part, this is the first part. So the m1 comes out to be the line passing through A, the second one is passing through B, will come out to be nothing but y by x. So this becomes 8 by 5. The slope of next line will come out to be nothing but again y by x, 4 by 10. This comes out to be 2 by 5. If I apply the tan theta formula in the next part, it is nothing but mod of m1 minus m2. So 8 by 5 minus 2 by 5 on 1 plus 8 by 5 into 2 by 5. And if I simplify this, this comes out to be nothing but 6 by 5 by 1 plus 16 by 25. And if I simplify, this comes out to be nothing but 30 by 40. If I look into this next question, what we can do is we can take the differential equation, find the solution, compare and get the value of a, b and k, and from there we can find the value of a plus b plus k. Let us try out this approach. So if I take this differential equation, you can observe that this is a differential equation reducible to variable separable form. So what we can do is we can take 2x plus 3y minus 2 and put it equal to t. This is the first result. So 2 plus 3 dy by dx will be equal to dt by dx. So we can divide by dx, and if I substitute this value, what am I getting? This is nothing but t. This becomes 2t minus 3. This becomes dy by dx. And this is nothing but 0. So let us substitute this value. So this is 2t minus 3. dt by dx can be, dy by dx can be written as nothing but dt by dx minus 2 into 1 by 3 equal to 0. And if I take LCM, this becomes 3t plus 2t minus 3 into dt by dx minus 2 is equal to 0. And again, if I simplify, this is 3t plus 2t minus 3 into dt by dx. This part becomes nothing but minus 4t plus 6 is equal to 0. And we can see that 2t minus 3 dt by dx would be equal to minus 4t. So this will become t minus 6. And again, if I simplify this very simple calculation, what am I getting is 2t minus 3 by t minus 6 dt, and will be equal to dx. And you can see that we have separated the variables. In the next part, we just need to integrate them. So if I integrate 2t minus 3 by t minus 6 with respect to dt, this will be equal to dx. And if I simplify this, what am I getting? For that, I will have to divide. So this can be written as 2t minus 12 plus 12 minus 3 by t minus 6. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to split it into two integrals. And from there, I'm trying to get an answer. You can see the first integral will become 2 dt, because 2t minus 12 divided by t minus 6 will become nothing but 2. And the second part becomes nothing but integration of 9 by t minus 6 dt is equal to x plus c. And if I integrate, this is nothing but 2t. This is 9 times ln of mod of t minus 6 is equal to x plus c. This is not 6c. And if I simplify, what happens is nothing but this part becomes 2 times 2x plus 3y minus 6, because that is what we took as t. 2x plus 3y minus 2 plus 9 times ln of 2x plus 3y minus 8 is equal to x plus c. Now you can see that what we have got is a very standard kind of a situation. This becomes 4x. This becomes 6y. This becomes minus 4. This becomes 9 times ln of 2x plus 3y minus 8 is equal to x plus c. Now if I compare the value of A we can clearly observe will come out to be 4. The value of B will come out to be 6. And now if I compare the value of K, it comes out to be nothing but 1. If I want to add them, my answer for A plus B plus K comes out to be nothing but 11. You can check the answer though, but the method remains same. Now this question talks about a scenario where you are trying to throw a dice x times, and on the x roll only it should get 6. Before that the 6 should not come. So if I am finding the A part, that is nothing but probability of x equal to 3. What we are saying is in the first row 6 did not come, in the next one also 6 did not come, and in the next one here the 6 came. So the probability will become 5 by 6 into 1 by 6. This is the first part. The second part talks about the probability of x is greater than equal to 3. That would mean we can have probability of x equal to 3, then probability of x equal to 4, so on and so forth till infinity. So if you find this, for 3 we can have first is not 6, second is not 6, but the last one is 6. The next will become first one is not 6, second one is not 6, next one is not 6, but the next one is 6. You can see that this becomes an infinite series. So answer becomes nothing but 5 by 6 whole square into 1 by 6 A upon 1 minus R. And if I simplify this, this will become 5 by 6 whole square. The observation here is that this is what the answer came out to be. So it is very simple to do future calculations. Now let us move toward the third part. Third part, what they are saying is C is nothing but P of x greater than equal to 6. Now when this has already occurred, so if I take intersection of this and the lower part, it comes out to be the same. So this is what we are getting. So this simplifies into this. It is not that we are directly writing it, it simplifies it. So now if you write this, this is nothing but P of x equal to 6 plus P of x equal to 7 till infinity. And in denominator, what we have got is P of x equal to 4, x equal to 5 till infinity. So what is happening in the numerator part is we are getting an infinite series where we start with 5 by x raised to the power 5 into 1 by 6. 5 by 6 raised to the power 6 into 1 by 6 till infinity. And the denominator part will start with 5 by 6 raised to the power 3 into 1 by 6. So on and so forth. Now if I find the sum of the series in the numerator, it is nothing but, as we already did earlier, will come out to 5 by 6 raised to the power 5. Denominator will become 5 by 6 raised to the power 3. And if you simplify, it is 5 by 6 whole square. Once we have done that, in the fourth part, what they're asking is what is the value of B plus C by A. So if I write B plus C by A, you can see that the B and C came out to be equal to, it is 2 into 5 by 6 whole square plus 5 by 6. It was nothing but 5 by 6 whole square into 1 by 6, and this simplifies to 12. So very simple question, but a lot of calculation based on sequence and series. Now this next question is an extremely simple question, and one should figure out such questions in the paper, and this will give you an edge in what you are trying to do. So if I look into this question, what we have got is A vector dot B vector is given. What they are saying is angle between these two vectors is acute. That means if I find this should come out to be greater than 0. As simple as that. So if I take their dot product, it comes out to be nothing but alpha square minus 4 alpha minus 4, and this needs to be greater than 0. Now what they're saying in the question is what is the least value of alpha such that this happens. So you can see that if I simplify this, this will become alpha minus 2 whole square minus 4, this is greater than 0. So alpha minus 2 whole square minus 8 is greater than 0. So you can see that alpha minus 2 whole square minus this will become a root of 8 whole square. So you can see that from here your alpha minus 2 will lie between either minus root 8, either it can be smaller than that, and so if I find the value of this, so these are the possible values that we are getting. So now what they're saying is positive integral value, least positive integral value of alpha. Now if this is always negative, so this is of no relevance, this value is of relevance. So if I find this value, root 8 will be slightly lower than root 9. So this value is slightly less than 2 plus 3, 5. So in this next question is very simple if you get it right. So first let us write this power set. So if I write this power set of S that is given to us as M. So the first set would be null set. Then of element 1. Like this I can write all the possible elements. Now let us try and check for reflexive in the next step. So what we can say is it will become reflexive if this is not equal to null set. But see, A intersection A can be equal to null set when A becomes null set. And then this is totally possible because this element is there in the power set of S. So you can see that it will not be a reflexive relation. Next, if I want to check symmetric, what they are saying is if A intersection B is not equal to phi, then we can say that B intersection A will also not be equal to phi. So symmetric is fine. Third, let us check the transitive part in the fourth step. Let us check transitive part. So what we are saying is if A intersection B is not equal to phi and B intersection is not equal to phi, then it is totally possible that A intersection C might be equal to phi. So this relationship is not true. So transitive also we cannot say. Hence the answer becomes symmetric only. That is the option. Now this is a very good question. This question talks about a differential function equation and a function that is given here. What we have to find is the value of this part. So what I can do here is basically if I put in place of x, x plus h and in place of y, x. In the first step, we can write this as f of x plus h minus f of x is greater than equal to log of x plus h by x plus h. Now what I can do is I can divide both the side using h. And if I apply my limit, that is s tends to 0, what I get is nothing but the right hand derivative. And we can see that this will come out to be limit s tends to 0 log of 1 plus h by x by h by x into x plus 1. You can see that the right hand derivative is greater than equal to, if I solve this limit, it comes out to be 1 by x plus 1. Now if I want to find the left hand derivative, so let us write this as f of x minus h minus f of x. So this becomes nothing but log of x minus h by x. This becomes nothing but minus h. Now what I will have to do is I will have to divide by this minus h, and if I do so, you can see that this inequality sign will get flipped, and what I have got here is nothing but 1 minus h by x by minus. We can divide and multiply by x. Now if I put limiting value here, that is nothing but h tends to 0. We have got nothing but LSD, and you can see it is smaller than equal to 1 by x plus 1. Now since the function is given to be differentiable, LSD should be equal to RSD, and that can happen only when my derivative of the function becomes nothing but 1 by x plus 1. Now what they're asking is nothing but f dash of 1 by n square. If I put that, this becomes n square plus 1. And in the fourth part, what they're doing is they are taking summation from 1 to 20. So if I apply n is equal to 1 to 20, n square plus 1, we have got a formula for this part. It is nothing but n into n plus 1 to n plus 1 by 6. And we can put here n is equal to 20. And this will become 20. If I put the values, the answer comes out to be 2890. Now this is an extremely simple question, And one should look out for such questions in the paper. So if I take this on the other side, so this becomes nothing but dx by x is equal to minus a dt. And if I integrate both the sides, this becomes ln x and this becomes minus at. So x is nothing but e and then c. So if I take e, then this becomes capital A e raised to the minus at. Now what they have given is, if I put x equal to 0, then what will happen is x equal to 0 will happen when in that situation a will become equal to 2. So if I put this, you can see that it comes out to be 2 e raised to the power minus at. So in the second part, if I solve the second part, y will come out to be 1 into e raised to the power minus bt. Now what they want us to do is equate x and y, and in the third step, if I do so, then 2 e raised to the power minus at is equal to e raised to the power minus b. So 2 is nothing but e raised to the power a minus b into t. So if I take ln on both the sides, then ln 2 will be equal to a minus b into t, or t comes out to be ln 2 by a minus b, and that is nothing but answer. Now this question looks to be a difficult question, but is an extremely simple question. So if I look into the first part, let us first simplify the middle part. So if I find my left hand limit, it would be nothing but limit h tends to 0. This x square minus 7x plus 12 can be written as nothing but x minus 4 into x minus 3. So if I put here nothing but 3 minus h, let us see what do we get. So this becomes nothing but 3 minus h minus 4. This is 3 minus h minus 3. Divide by mod of 3 minus h minus 4 and 3 minus h minus 3. So if I simplify this, what am I getting is nothing but limit h tends to 0, a by b. This becomes minus 1 minus h into minus h. This becomes again minus 1 minus h minus h. And now if I simplify, what am I getting? We can see that this minus sign will get multiplied, and this is nothing but 1 plus h into h. And this will also become 1 plus h into h. So you can see that this is getting cancelled out, and what we are getting from here is nothing but a by b. Similarly, in the next step, let us try and find out the right hand limit. So right hand limit would be nothing but limit h tends to 0, f of 3 plus h. So this times we will write sine of 3 plus h minus 3 divided by 3 plus h minus 3 plus h greatest integer function. And if I simplify this, this comes out to be limit h tends to 0, 2 raised to the power sine h. Denominator will also simplify. Greatest integer function will become 3. This will get cancelled out, sine h by h, and this comes out to be 2. Now let us equate. So in the third step, LHL will be equal to RHL will be equal to value of function at that point, because they have told us that the function is continuous. So if I take LHL, it is nothing but a by b. RHL, it is nothing but 2, and value of function at that point, that is nothing but b. So you can see the value of b comes out to be 2. And if I look into the whole idea of this question, from the second part, a by 2 comes out to be 2. So the value of a comes out to be nothing but 4. So the ordered pair is nothing but 4, 2. So let us consider the value of b1 as nothing but b1, b2, b3. If I take this and multiply it by a, so what we are getting is nothing but a b1. The value of this would be equal to be nothing but 2b1 plus b3. Next part will become nothing but b2, and the last part will be nothing but 3b1 plus 2b2. Now what they're saying is this is equivalent to this matrix. So the value of 2b1 plus b3 is nothing but 1. b2 comes out to be 0, and 3b1 plus 2b2 comes out to be nothing but again 0. So you can see that since b2 is 0, b1 will also become 0 and b3 will become equal to 1. So what we have got is nothing but b1 0, b2 0 and b3 equal to 1. So what we have got here is nothing but the first column 0 0 1. For the second part, let us take here only. In the second part, write this as b2. So if I do the calculation for the second part, what will happen is just this values will change. Nothing else will change. So in this equations only, in order to find b2, let us put 2, 0 and 1. So you can see that b2 is again 0. But b1, because of this value, came out to be 1 by 3. b2 came out to be 0. And if I put this value here, b3 would be nothing but 2 minus 2 by 3. That comes out to be 4 by 3. So this comes out to be nothing but 1 by 3, 0 and 4 by 3. In the third part, what they're saying is the same values. Everything remains in, just the value are getting changed. So what I can do is, instead of this, if I put 3, 2 and 1, what are the values that I'm getting for b? So this time if I solve, b2 will become, so this becomes 4, b1 becomes minus 1 by 3. Now b2 is nothing but 2. And if I put here as minus 2 by 3 plus b3, this is equal to 3 and b3 becomes 3 plus 2 by 3. So this is nothing but 11 by 3. So we have ultimately got the matrix that we are seeking, that is B. So the first part is, if we add the diagonal elements, you can see that the alpha is coming out to be nothing but 11 by 3. Similarly, we can find the value of beta. That is nothing but determinant of this. If I open it along the first column, it will come out to be nothing but 2 by 3. So from here, I can get the value of alpha q plus beta q. Now, this is a question based on trigonometry. So what I can do for this question is, in the first part of this question, I can take the value of cos 2x in terms of sine. So it becomes 1 minus 2 sine square x minus a sine x is equal to 2a minus 7. If I take everything on the left hand side, this becomes 8 minus 2 sine square x. And this becomes nothing but a sine x minus 2a equal to 0. And from the first part, what we can do is, we can take a 2 common. So this is 4 minus sine x sine square x, and this is nothing but minus a into sine x plus 2 equal to 0. The first part can be factorized into 2 minus sine x into 2 plus sine x, and the next part has nothing but sine x plus 2. So you can see that we can cancel out this part because sine x can never be equal to minus 2. If I simplify this now, so you can see that the value of a is nothing but 2 into 2 minus sine x. So the range of a, the minimum value will come when sine x becomes equal to 1. And in that case, it will become nothing but 2. And the maximum will come when sine x becomes minus 1. So it becomes 3 into 2, 6. Now if I compare this with the range that they have given, the value of p comes out to be 2. And the value of q comes out to be nothing but 6. The second part of this discussion, what we are going to find the value of r. So if I take r, you can see that this becomes a tan 9 degree. This can be written as nothing but cot of 27 degree. The next part can be written as nothing but cot of 9 degree. And the last part can be written as nothing but tan of 27 degree. If I simplify this further, first and the third term can be written as nothing but tan 9 degree plus 1 by tan 9 degree. And the last two terms can be written as tan 27 degree plus 1 by tan 27 degree. Now this can be further simplified because tan can be written as sine by cos. So this is sine 9 degree by cos 9 degree plus cos 9 degree by sine 9 degree. And finally, it can be written as nothing but sine 27 degree by cos 27 degree plus cos 27 degree by sine 27 degree. If I write it in this manner and simplify, this becomes sine square 9 degree plus cos square 9 degree by sine 9 degree cos 9 degree. And similarly, the next part can be written as nothing but the numerator will again become 1 in the similar fashion. Cos 27 degree and sine 27 degree. And if I simplify, it becomes, I can multiply by 2, so this becomes sine 18 degree. And again, if I multiply by 2, this becomes nothing but sine 54 degree. Sine 54 degree can be written as nothing but cos of 36 degree. So if I put the values now, the first part becomes nothing but 2 by root 5 minus 1 by 4. The second becomes 2 by root 5 minus 1 by 4. And this simplifies, the 8 will come out as common. 1 by root 5 minus 1 plus 1 by root 5 plus 1. So this is nothing but 8 into 2 root 5 by 4. So 4 root 5. So the value of R comes out to be 4 root 5. P and Q we have. So we can find the value of P into Q into R. So this becomes 12 into 4 root 5. That is nothing but 48 root 5.
If you like this video, you will also like Pragbee's unique approach to teaching students or guiding students for the last mile journey. So if you are a student who has been preparing for 2 years and going to write this exam in 2024, this is one of the best ways and platforms that you can prepare with. Unlike other crash courses who focus on teaching 100% syllabus in just 2 to 3 months, which a student took 2 years to prepare, we have a different way to approach the problem. This process works on 3 very specific steps. In step 1, we start from you. What exact preparation have you done in the last 2 years, last 1 year, last few months? And what is the minimum amount of effort, areas, concepts and problems that required to be prepared to get a very good college from JEE Mains? In step 2, based on this customized plan that was prepared based on your strengths and weaknesses and the minimum path of least resistance that you can take to get into a very good college, we align you a one-on-one faculty, a faculty who is going to teach you as a student, keeping your needs into mind, where you are getting stuck in a topic, what kind of problems you cannot solve, and how to solve those problems in a very efficient and smart manner and convert that topic into tangible marks in JEE Mains. In step 3, we attach you to a test series, a testing platform where you can test yourself for each and every topic that you're preparing. You can write full syllabus tests and get an understanding that how this program is working for you, wherein the faculties can again sit with you and customize the plan based on your needs so that your score is getting maximized in JEE Mains exam. Using this program, Ashish was able to maximize his score in JEE Mains and JEE Advanced and was able to get into IIT Madras Mechanical in just a matter of 3 months. If you are one of those students who think that he has got the potential, who can make it, and he wants to have a smart and efficient approach at this point of time, which can maximize his or her result in JEE Mains exam, you can apply for this program in the link given in the description, and somebody from my team will get in touch with you and help you out. See you until next one.